Chapter 14, page 107. On Sunday morning, I woke up to the smell of coffee and breakfast cooking. I put my flip-flops on and headed to the kitchen where Mom whipped eggs in a bowl while a pan of what looked like chorizo sizzled on the stove. "Good morning, Dona Milona," Mom said. "Want some coffee?" "Have I ever said no to coffee?" "True," Mom said. "I hope this chorizo isn't too spicy." She said the word chorizo like it was something she still couldn't wrap her brain around. I tried to buy some from Mrs. Hidalgo at Calaca, but they were all out. Who knew there was a demand for soy chorizo? She turned off the burner. Anyway, she recommended a Mexican place that makes it, so this is as authentic as fake chorizo can be. And it's probably going to burn my tongue off, right? "Probably," Mom said, handing me a couple of mugs. "I'll get you a glass of milk, too." "Thanks," I said. As I watched Mom dish eggs and chorizo onto 2 plates, I thought about the family tree assignment for Spanish class. It was looming over me. Due tomorrow. Dad always said you have to know when to ask for help, and as much as I dreaded asking Mom, I knew I couldn't do it alone. "Mom, can you help me with this family tree assignment?" "Of course," she said a little too eagerly. She placed a plate in front of me and sat down. "When should we work on it?" "How about now?" I asked. "It's due tomorrow, so I don't have much of a choice." "Don't sound too excited about it, Malu," Mom said, digging into her breakfast. I went into my room and grabbed my Spanish notebook and a pen. "I need at least 2 generations, not counting me," I said. "That's it?" Mom said, sounding a little disappointed. "Let's see," I said. "I need full names and places and dates of birth and death." Mom held a bottle of hot sauce over her plate, and I watched as she tapped the little orange drops across her eggs. "Okay, well, your abuelo Refugio Morales was born in Morelos in the state of California. Coahuila. I said that bad. In 1936 and died in Anaheim, California in 2010. "Slow down," I said. "How do you spell that?" Mom spelled Coahuila, and then continued. "Why did he leave Mexico?" It wasn't part of my assignment, but I was still curious. "He came to the U.S. as part of a Bracero program," Mom said. "Do you know what that is?" I shook my head. During World War II, when many American men had either gone to war or were working in industries that produced equipment for the war, there was shortage of farm labor, Mom said. The U.S. government made arrangements with Mexico to bring in laborers to work on American farms. The program continued for a little while after the war ended. That's when your abuelo came. It was supposed to be temporary, but he never left. "What kind of work did he do?" "Mostly picked crops," Mom said. "Sugar beets, figs, strawberries." "Like for the supermarkets?" I asked. Mom nodded. "Wow," I said. "Real people pick that stuff?" Well, who do you think does all that work? Machines?" I shrugged. To be honest, I never thought about it at all. "Most people probably don't think about it," Mom said, as if reading my mind. "But it's hard work." I remember that Abuelo used to give me those gummy candies that looked like orange slices, and I would suck all the sugar off before eating them, I said. "You remember that?" she asked. "You were so little." "And we would sit on that plastic-covered couch and watch the show about the kid who lived inside a barrel." "You're thinking of El Chavo del Ocho," Mom smiled, remembering. "Your abuelo loved to watch comedies. He laughed a lot for someone who had a hard life." "What about abuela?" I asked. "Your abuela, Aurelia Gonzalez de Morales, was born in Agua Prieta in the state of Sonora in 1948, Mom said. "When did she come to the U.S.? "She left Mexico and her family when she was 16, Mom said. "What do you mean she left her family?" I asked. "She came alone," Mom said. "Alone? But isn't that dangerous?" Mom shrugged like it was no big deal. "When she was 16, I asked. "Mom, that's like 4 years older than me. How did she do it alone?" "A lot of people came to this country alone, Malu. Not knowing the language," Mom said. "It's not an uncommon story. There might be kids in your school whose families came here under similar circumstances." This was even more mind-boggling than the thought of my abuelo's hands picking the strawberries I saw in the supermarket. I tried to imagine coming to Chicago alone. It felt scary, way scarier than how it felt coming here with Mom. "Your grandparents worked really hard to build a life in this country," Mom said, "but they were also very proud of where they came from." I chewed on my pen and thought about my grandparents. Abuelo died when I was little, but before that, when they still lived in Florida, I spent more time with them. Once Mom started her PhD program, we saw them less often, and after Abuelo died, Abuela moved to California, where the rest of the family lived. Mom's family lived. Being so far away and Mom's busy schedule made it harder for us to go visit. Still, Mom called Abuela every weekend and would force me to grab the phone and say hello. I could hear Mom tell my Abuela to speak to me in Spanish, but she never did. That's why it's important to me that you learn about where you came from, Mom said. I know where I come from, Mom, I said, snapping back into the present. She looked at me and gave me a sad smile. There are things you're missing out on that are important, she said. Like what? You should be proud to speak Spanish, not embarrassed about it. I'm not embarrassed, I said, but like Mom, I didn't really believe that either. I guess I don't really have anyone to blame but myself, Mom said. Gee, sorry to be so disappointing. That's not what I meant, Malu. You're not disappointing. Okay, I said. Is that why you're always talking about how I dress and how I hate speaking Spanish? Whoa, slow down there. Admit it, Mom, I said. I'm just your weird, unladylike, sloppy Spanish-speaking, half-Mexican kid. Where is all this coming from? Mom asked. You want me to be like you and be interested in stuff you're interested in, I said. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I can't help it that I care about animals and don't want to eat them. And it's not my fault that I don't like hot sauce or cilantro. Mom burst out laughing. Malu, do you think I care that you don't like cilantro or that you're a vegetarian? Of course, I said, because real Mexicans love cilantro and hot sauce on everything, especially meat. I don't expect you to be like me, Mom said. I just want you to be proud of who you are, of everything you are. I am proud of who I am, I said. It's you who seems to have a problem. You're just like Selena. Selena, the Tejano singer? Mom asked, a puzzled look on her face. What does she have to do with this? Who? I asked. Never mind, you don't understand. You never do. I wish I was with Dad. I grabbed my notebook and left the kitchen. I almost expected Mom to follow me with more questions, or at least to fill me in on the Selena singer, but she didn't.